Hello, everyone. I just wanted to come on here and talk about a dream that I had on last night. Now, there was a part in the dream that stood out to me that was more of a revelation that I want to talk about. And so, in this dream, I was shown, which I'm pretty sure there's many churches already doing this. So, in the dream, I was shown that there was this one church that when people wanted to come into the church, they were telling them that the vaccine was required. They were checking their temperatures and then they were looking at their vaccine status. Only the vaccinated can come into their worship center or their church. The ones that were not vaccinated were denied entrance. There were some churches, I was just shown this particular church, but it was revealed to me that this is happening in some churches too. Some churches are going as far as having a couple of nurses already in the entrance of the church. And they're giving them the option that if they want to receive the vaccine right then and there, they have that option to do that so that they can enter. And so I was shown in the dream a group of like 5 or 6 young teenage girls, and they wanted to go into this church and they were telling them that the vaccine was required. And so they were telling them that there's nurses there and they can be vaccinated on the spot. And so I was shown that they were deciding whether they should be vaccinated or not, and eventually they chose to be vaccinated. I was shown the nurses putting the alcohol swabs, giving them the shots, everything. They received their cards and then they could come in. And so I want to talk about this because it is not God's will for his children to receive this thing in your body. So if your church is requiring you to be vaccinated, you need to get out of that church. If your church is going as far as already checking temperatures, you need to get out of that church. This is a warning from God. It is truly a warning from God that this is what is happening in many churches. And it is not the will of God for us to put this thing in our body to attend that church. We know our God. Our God tells us all the time not to fear, okay? The one we should fear is God. The one that we should fear is Jesus, okay? Because we know that our God can heal any sickness. And if there's a sickness that is hard to heal, we can always fast and pray. But the power of God is greater than anything. And so if your church is doing this, this is not a church from God. Or they're not listening to God's voice. And so we must discern. And I don't care if it is a mega church, okay? I don't care if you've been going to that church for years. If your church is doing this, it is time to cut it off. It is time to not go to that church any longer. And I know that narrow is the path to life. And I know that only few people are listening to these messages. But this is truly God warning his people of what is happening in some churches so that we are made aware of this and that God is not okay with this. And so that is why I'm sharing that part of that dream. So if you're attending any church that is already checking your temperature, please do not attend that church. Our God is not a God of fear. The church is supposed to be the ones laying hands on the sick and healing them. Why are we afraid of a virus? Well, I love each and every one of y'all, okay? Y'all stay blessed.